Shiva 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 Shambho, Shiva 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 Shambho, Shiva 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 Shambho, Shiva 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 Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Shiva 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 Shambho, Shiva 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 Shambho, Shiva 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 Shambho, Shiva 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 Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho. Good evening. I have company tonight. Actually, she's always here with me, Master Fatima. She loves to sing. And every Tuesday, 8 p.m., I am opening this live streaming, speaking in English, even with my limitations, to let you know what's going on here. Today, actually with time, I plan to have people to talk about issues that happen all around the world with master animals, but things here have been so intense that I have not been able to plan this live streaming. So here I am trying to make the best out of these insane times that we have been living, not just in the sanctuary, but everywhere in the world. So this afternoon, this is the latest news, and I know that the topic of death can be very hard to some people, and I want us to get strong to deal with this, to talk about this. Because when we talk about death in a sanctuary, we're talking about special care, about love, about tranquility, about every single aspect of goodness that can happen to a master animal. But when we talk about death outside a sanctuary, we do not have most of the times, especially for master horses, master cows, master bulls, master pigs, we usually don't have this scene. So we need to understand that they are dying. And if we keep talking about how wonderful they are and how cute they are and how they are intelligent, of course it helps us to raise awareness. It helps us to get to understand them. But we also need to talk about the things that are not so comfortable for our hearts. And talking about these things, we start to grow into learning about them. We start to not making them a taboo or something that we don't want to talk about because it's our preference. And if somebody is dying, we cannot let this topic go away just because we don't like to talk about it. It seems too selfish, doesn't it? Because again, I feel uncomfortable talking about death, so I do not want to hear about this, I do not want to know about this, but they are dying, and people are dying too. Master animals, people, Mother Nature, we have deaths everywhere, and we choose to not see. We choose to not talk about it because it's not comfortable for us. But we need to make it comfortable. We need to grow stronger than we are to talk about these things. Because otherwise we're just like, okay, I wanted to rely on the bright side. Of course, we are going to rely on the bright side. But relying on the bright side doesn't mean that we don't talk about this shadow aspect of life. Because there is death when they die, again, in a sanctuary surrounded by love and caring. And there is death when there could not, or actually when we could have avoided death for them. And this is something that we need to understand, and we need to avoid death when we can. When we cannot, we need to deal with our emotions, and always remember that it's not about our emotions. When we are serving somebody, it's about their emotions. It's about what they are going through, and not what's going on within my heart, or what's hard for me, or what's difficult for me. It's about them. So this afternoon, Master Jacira, she was a very, very old lady here. She was a master horse. She lived here for about 7 years, almost 7 years. When she arrived here, she had undertaken 3 surgeries for her broken arm. She had a broken hand, actually. And at some point, Vitor and I, we decided that it was just way too much, that the medicine, the vet medicine is still, they do not have enough information for these procedures. And we were seeing that we are putting her into more and more pain. So what we did, we built a place for her inside the sanctuary. She had a great life. She used to be close to the trees. She had friends, and she had, yes, a broken arm, a broken hand, but she healed her broken heart. She was abandoned. We think that she was, before she was a racer, and then what we understood, because this rescue years ago, it had the help of the police station in another city, in another town. Then when she was abandoned, she started to pull carts in town. And finally, she was rescued with a broken hand, pulling a cart in this other town. It was just something that could make us hate humanity. And this is another thing that I would like us to work on ourselves, to avoid as much as we can get into this kind of emotion, because these emotions do not help us, do not help them. If we start to wish people to get hurt, if we start to wish people to bad things in general, these do not help. What helps is when we can pray and feel and wish so much love that person quits doing wrong. That helps. But when we wish them bad things, the impression that I have is that the person gets worse and worse. He or she, they do not get better. Love makes us better. Hate does not make us better. And when we have this kind of situation, we are tempted to hate, to say that we do not believe in humankind. But we must, because otherwise we become a victim as much as a master horse, as much as a master cow, as much as a master dog, as much as any victim, because we allowed hate to take over our hearts. So this, I really wish that we can look into our hearts and always repeat to ourselves that we are not going to become another victim. We are going to pray for goodness to happen. We are going to make a commitment to be a vehicle for goodness, for love, for whatever you believe that can solve problems in the core and not in the root cause of the problems, and not something that we are dealing with the symptoms all the time. Because again, I don't think that we don't even have time. We don't even have time for this. Look at our forests, look at everything that's going on in the world. We don't have time. Really, we need to find this source of love inside of us. And of course, when we're seeing a victim, our heart just blossoms in love. But when we are looking at a aggressor, not always. Sometimes we do not feel love. Feeling love does not mean that we are going to have a relationship, a loving relationship with that person. It only means that we are avoiding hate, that we are trying to give some example, to educate that person. It's very easy to just take people out, just say, I do not want to deal with this person. I will believe, I will act as if that person never existed. But that doesn't help society as a whole. Doesn't matter if I'm talking about Brazilian society or European society or American society, Indian society. It doesn't. We need to learn to embrace people and to educate people and to look at one another and realize that we are all learning here and trying to serve a higher purpose. This is what I believe that can change the world. So she was rescued in this condition. And then what happened was, after these 3 surgeries, she had this place here and she lived quite well. 10 days ago, she started to face some troubles trying to get up. And we tried to lift her up, and then she would eat, and she actually was eating from our hands and drinking water from our hands. But this is not a kind of life that we wanted for her. And she was very, very old. She didn't have most of her teeth. She was very, very old. And most of her life was spent in exploitation. But when she left this afternoon, I felt that she left peaceful and thankful for having had this time here. I felt that she was happy, in the sense, not a happy like a joyful and a smiley person walking around, not like that, but she was content. That is the word. She was content because she had no love. And in her last moments, I also realized, because every time that one of them goes through their transition, there is a message. There is something right on those final moments that come across our hearts. It's not always the same. Every single time is different. It's not like, okay, now I know what's going to happen. It's never like this. Because death can be the same, but the being going through death is one unique creature. So the conjunction of both, the conjunction of death and this unique being, will send to the world different messages. And today, being with her, and actually these past days, not just today, but on these last moments, I felt this even stronger. I felt the importance to look after old creatures, and meaning old people, and meaning old master animals, and not just master horses, but master cows, master dogs. And of course, when we are talking about master horses and master cows and master bulls, we can say that these ones here and in other sanctuaries and being protected everywhere, anywhere in the world, we can say that they are so privileged, because when we are a master horse, a master cow, a master bull, even a master pig, master lamb, we do not die of old age. We die because either people put us down or we are slaughtered. So I felt in these last moments a kind of gratitude from her, of going through all her life, finding some peace here in her last years, and this gratitude for being seen as an old lady. And this touched my heart in a way that we must give our best when beings, creatures, are leaving this world close to us. So I go back to the beginning. We cannot just say, I don't like to talk about death. I do not want to learn about this. Well, if you do not want to talk about this, if you do not want to learn about this, if you do not want to be there when someone is dying, it's your right, of course. But life will make sure that you face it anyway. So it will be easier if we prepare ourselves, even for our great journey, and for the journey of the others we love that are close to us. So when it happens, we are not just there in panic when the other being is trying to find some assistance, some tranquility in our presence. So again, if you do not want to talk about this, if you do not like the subject, that's fine. But try to learn about this anyway. Because if you like, if you don't like, life is going to make it happen for you and for those close to you. And as much as we learn, it's easier even when they go, that we do not cry as somebody trying to hold another being that cannot stay. Because sometimes I wonder when they are leaving, imagine what they feel. They do not know where they are going. Sometimes they are peaceful, sometimes they are not, sometimes they have pain, sometimes they do not have pain. And imagine we here trying to hold them. And it's not a matter of holding the body, it's holding the soul. We cannot hold the soul within our hands. We can only hold the soul within our hearts. So we need to let go their bodies in order to hold their souls in our hearts. This is how they become, and we become, I do believe, immortal. This is how. Because of the love we feel. Not because we hold bodies in our hands when they are sick, when they are about to leave, when they're, no. And really try to be peaceful and try to send out some sort of energy that can help that being cross the path that is before him or her. And then she finally left. We prayed, we sang some songs, and this is something else that I would like to put here on this conversation. Sometimes we think that the same way that in a way most people, not most people these days, but some people these days, many people these days, they think that sentience, that only humans can feel. Only humans can feel pain, can be sad, can be happy. And then we are starting to see people believing that master animals can feel all of this. And even they can get depressed, as Master Isis, being treated, got depressed after losing her baby. But now I wanted to talk about this spiritual matter. I believe we as humans, we need to remember that they are spiritual beings as well. So in the same sense that we pray for our friends, that we pray for our mother and father and relatives, I would like us to pray for these beings as well, for master animals. And even though that I'm talking about master animals in a sanctuary or your master dog or the master animals that you have close to you, I also would like us to pray for an uncountable number of master animals being slaughtered every day, dying without understanding what they did wrong, dying in pain, in misery, because these beings, again, they are spiritual too. In the same way that most of us or us or somebody else didn't believe at some point that they were capable of feeling, sometimes even we that believe that they can feel, we don't stop to think that they are spiritual beings. And in the same way that we need prayer, they need prayer too. So if we are close to them, it's one situation. If we are not close to them, fine, but we still can pray, because the spirit can be reached even though that we are not close to that spirit or to that body or related to that being. Just for the fact that we share the same vital breath, we are connected. We are connected. So pray in your own faith. You know, if you believe in God, if you believe in goddess, if you believe in nature, if you believe in a higher power, if you believe in consciousness, anything, just make sure that you put some positive thought to that being going. Because it seems that we all will need this at some point. The other part of the update that I want to give here is that today also we had Master Chief undertaking surgery because he couldn't breathe. He's a master horse. There is at a hospital. Everything went fine. And Victor was here just now showing me an image that he recovered from the surgery completely. He's walking. Of course, we only know that he's completely recovered in the next few weeks. But he can walk, he's eating, he's drinking water, so it's pretty good. And this is going to be a hard one to speak in English, but he had a tube in order to breathe. And this tube was taken out. And now, because the tumor was taken out, then the tube could also be taken out. He's breathing by himself. So we are pretty happy to get this news and pretty thankful for these people, these medical doctors from this university that believed that he could have this chance. And of course, we are grateful for you who support this mission, because without support, we couldn't be here. So thank you very much. The other part of the update from today is that people were seeing just 3 days ago, in the weekend, we also lost Master Helen. Master Helen necropsy, not sure if this is the way to say it, but anyway, the exam after her death, determining or revealing the cause of her death, was sent to us yesterday, or the day before yesterday, anyway. And she also had a tumor on or in her intestine. From where? Unfortunately, all of them here, they've been rescued from all sorts of abuse and exploitation. And Master Helen, she ate so much trash. I remember when she came that the vet doctor who looked after her, she told me that another one that was with her that could not survive back then, she had bags, plastic bags inside her intestine. Master Helen, she didn't have that. She lived here for about 5 years. She didn't have an eye. She had a pierced eye. And it was sad, because every time that they leave, we know that they could have lived better, that they could live without this pain, that even though they are at the sanctuary, but they lived before the sanctuary, and they bring that in their bodies. So that was sad. But then what happened was this tumor around her intestine made a pressure so strong that she couldn't defecate anymore. So she had this very bad pain, digestive pain. And we tried everything that we could here at our sanctuary. Then she was taken to the hospital. And before surgery, because of the exam that she made, we realized that we couldn't do anything else with her. The tumor was so big, and it came from this trash that was in her tube, in this digestive tube inside of her. So this is for us to understand what kind of misery, the level of misery they go through in their lives. And of course we can talk about them and what's happening to them, but we also need to talk about us. For instance, we can go around in our homes, inside our houses, and look for them in the sense, are they in our fridges? Are they in our rooms, sofas, shoes, cosmetics? Because everything that is happening to master animals today on earth, it's happening, bad things, because of humans, because of our lifestyle. So I ask us to be strong, to be honest, and go around our homes. And as we look for them, as we find them, look at your heart and see if you can commit to a life that doesn't harm others. Because this is how we are going to stop rescues all around the world. If we, as humans, we stop exploiting them for our lifestyles. This is how we're going to stop. So again, we will talk about them, but we also need to understand from where they're coming from. And it's not because they are coming, oh, okay, Master Helen had this because she ate trash. It's not just that. She ate trash because a human didn't look after her. Okay, Patricia, but I'm not that human. I do not have any relation to that human. Okay, I'm going to say something. Very, very often, master horses live inside farms, dairy farms, meat farms, looking after master cows and master bulls. So if we eat cheese, if we drink milk, if we eat meat, we are exploiting more than just, it wouldn't be enough, just one kind or just one species. But what I'm going to tell you is just, it's much more than we are seeing and or that we can possibly imagine. So again, we're talking about them, but also I would like us to look at our homes, to look at our hearts, to listen to our hearts, be honest with ourselves and say, okay, how am I going to stop this work? Because this work needs to stop. In the sense of finishing this, of solving the problem, the core problem, the root problem, this kind of service must stop. But it will only stop if humans change. So I'm asking you, can you change? Can you go inside your own skin, inside your heart and change? Commit to change. I'm not asking you to change from today to tomorrow. I understand that some people say that they need time, that they need to see a doctor, that they need to see... I understand. I'm just asking for a commitment. Can you commit to stop this craziness that is happening in the world today? I just wanted to know that people can commit to change. This is the way we are going to change. It's not changing, okay, we are going to rescue all of them. We cannot rescue all of them, but we can rescue one and another and tell their stories. And then I ask you something else. I ask you to be strong enough to get to know these stories. And not only search for the sanctuary looking for how cute they are and how intelligent they are and how happy they are here. Of course they are. But if we only talk about this, we are denying everything that is happening outside. Of course we can talk, and yes, we do talk about how cute and how wonderful and how loving they are, and how kind they are, how smart they are. Of course we do talk about this. But we cannot only talk about this because we are denying. We are in denial. It's as if nothing would ever happen inside the sanctuary. Okay, I have bad news for you. Here they get sick. They come sick. And sometimes because they get old, or sometimes because they didn't heal completely, these things that they live, this abuse, transformed in something else, get transformed in something else. So yes, they get sick. Yes, they die. Yes, they have pains. Yes, we must look at their souls. We need to be with their emotional side to try to heal what we do not see in their bodies. I wanted to show you only good things about them, about how smart, how cute, how intelligent they are. But I do not want us to be in denial. We must look at the world as it is today and understand that this world is a projection of our own minds, of the way we think, the way we live. And if we wanted to change this world, as a Zen master said, we cannot just go there in the mirror and try to clean the mirror, because the mirror is just showing something that is reflecting there. Actually, it's an image. We need to clean ourselves. We need to look at ourselves. This is how we are going to change the world. And yes, of course, when we have the time, when things happen like this, when we have the opportunity, yes, we are going to show there kindness and loving and amazing personality. But we are committed to saying the truth, to telling the truth. I'm not here just because I want likes or because we wanted to just make people feel comfortable about the word today. No, we need real people. We need real talks. We need real subjects to be shared. We need to be strong. This is what we need. We do not need more made up, fabricated lives on Instagram. We do not need this. Truly, I do believe that we do not need this. We need real stuff. And what we are trying to show here is real life. When we cry, when we laugh, when we want more, when we want to fight for more, when we are weak, when we are for real. And we need more people to get real as well. Because then we can face reality. But when we are in denial, we do not face reality. We do not want to deal with reality. We wanted to live in a parallel world, not talking about this. And then something else happens. It's not that nothing changes. Not just that. It's because we start to miss the opportunity of being here. And one of the greatest opportunities of being here on earth is to serve one another. And if we get in denial, if we pay attention to our own pain, if we do not listen, if we do not want to deal with this subject of death or abuse or exploitation, we are missing our chance. Our chance, not only their chance to have a different fate. We are missing our own fate. Our own fate meaning the opportunity to serve, to leave this place, to leave this world better than we found. So think about it. It's not just about them. It's about your own spirit. It's about your own soul. Would you like to look back and remember that many Master Jaciras, many Master Horses, Master Bulls, Master Cows had an opportunity to have a better life because of you, but they didn't also because of you? Would you like this? And I say this for Master Trees, and I say this also for people. Anywhere we are, if we can make life better to beings around us, I believe that when we leave this planet, we'll find peace. And even throughout this madness that we are going through in these dark times that we live in, we are going to find some peace within, because we are on the righteous path. We are walking the path of goodness. And this gives us some sanity to deal with everything that is happening in the world today. Last but not least, people ask us, from where do we get the strength to deal with sickness, with death, with abusers, with the lack of sleep, and many more? And I must tell that I myself very often wonder this, from where comes this strength? And I believe that we are not strong. I believe that his strength takes over us. I believe that when we commit, we as human beings, when we commit to any kind of service that helps others, we find the strength. Or the strength to do that finds us, because we become a vehicle. It's not that we're strong, it's not that we are wise, it's not that something else. We are just humans trying to make things easier for other beings. And when we commit to this, again, strength finds us. And I believe strength finds us not in our minds or in our talk or something else, somebody or someplace else outside. Strength finds us in our heart, because we are capable of love. And love, I realize this not just because I feel this, but because what I see when Master Animals come here, when they are rescued, and after few weeks and few months and years, when they have the opportunity to live here, how much the power of love made them strong to overcome their limitations, to overcome their diseases, to heal, so I guess the answer that I could give about this, it's about love. It's always about love. So I think we can take as much as we love. That's all. You know, if we think that it's too hard, or if we give up in the middle of the way, it's because we quit loving. As long as we love, we can take. For instance, have you ever seen, of course we have some unbalanced mothers around the world, but commonly said, have you seen a mother giving up her son, her daughter? Never. She's there every time. It doesn't matter if this mother is exhausted, if she doesn't have the energy or the money or the time or the patience, she's there. She never gives up because she loves that daughter. She loves that son. She loves that child. She doesn't give up. And she doesn't give up because she loves again. Love is the power behind every single action that can overcome limitation. So I believe that as long as we keep loving, we'll find the strength. We'll find comfort when it's too difficult. We will find solutions when we face problems. We will find financial resources when we don't have any, because we love. And when we love, there is no option. There is this option about, okay, it's just about giving up. It's about forgetting that they are suffering. It's just like, just pretend you didn't see. When you love, it doesn't exist. You know you saw. You know that they are suffering. You can pretend to others, but you cannot pretend to yourself. And you find the strength. And the strength again finds you because you love. So I believe that as long as we keep loving, disease can come, death can come, transitions can come, anything can come. And we will keep walking. And we will make this path something valuable to our souls, because we have learned how to serve, and we will have make it better to others, because we have alleviated their pain, their suffering. And I hope we can I hope we can be together in this path. I hope we can. And I do hope also that this week we don't have as many circumstances as the ones that we just had this past week, so I can plan better to be here next Tuesday at 8 p.m. And I wanted to invite some friends to talk about this about life. Because life is not something for us and something for them. Life is life. And life itself regards love. Life itself looks after peace and wants peace. And so just friends to talk about life. And then sometimes we talk about life of Mestres Animais, and sometimes we talk life as we understand it as humans. But it's good to talk about life in a way that every single being is contemplated. Not just one species or another species or one race or one gender. Just life as it is. And life itself wants to live in a good place, in a safe world. So then we as life in these bodies, we have greater experiences in the sense of learning at ease and not with all this pain and misery around us. So let's talk about life in the next Tuesdays and hopefully with some other friends. I wanted to thank you because I know that people all around the world, I know for a fact that you all help support this mission here, and I'm very thankful. And I say this not just from my heart, but also I would like you to get this gratitude as something that is said through me from Mestres Animais. and also from our entire team. It's, yes, again, it's difficult, yes, it's uncomfortable, yes, but we find the strength and the strength find us. So let's just keep moving on this path of the heart. And I believe that things will get easier for every single creature. So again, thank you so very much. If you wanted to support this mission, you have options like a billion that you can review vegan products and also contribute to our sanctuary. If you do not want to give this contribution, because you do not give the contribution itself, you just make the review and the app gives the contribution. If you do not give it to us, you have a list of other organizations around the world that you can. And I'm saying this because every single organization in the world needs help. So if you do not want to support this, I would like you to think about supporting a organization. And it doesn't need to be a master animal organization. I'm saying that we need to support each other. We need to support people. We need to support initiatives. We need to really get stronger together as a team that fights for justice, for goodness, for a better world. So please just help. If you do not want to help us, help somebody else, but do help, because we all need help at this point. At these times, we all need help. And it's good to practice. It's good to give. It's good to receive. So thank you very much. And besides this, we have the ashram too, but I think I'm going to talk about this on the next one. I think for tonight that was already, we have talked much. I hope all this talking and all these thoughts, they can give you some tranquility as well. I hope they can make you feel not alone. I hope that you can feel that you have more people around the world with you. Sometimes when I look at all of this, we might think that we are the only ones seeing what's going on with master animals, what's going on with people, with Mother Nature. We think that the whole world just has gone crazy and we are the only ones seeing, looking at reality. I just wanted to tell you that sometimes it might seem so, but there are many people around the world looking at this and providing change, taking action. Just be one of them. Do not give up. Keep on loving, believing, strong, support one another. We have a whole reality to change. But the difficult part is we need to do this with humans, inspiring humans. And we count on you to do this work too. And count on us, because we are here. We are here with this power, with this force, with this strength coming from our hearts. And I believe we connected through our hearts within the same mission to make this a better place. Thank you so much. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. See you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. our time.